Hello everyone, this is Oreo Blaster, and today I'm going to be doing a replay analysis sent in by one of my friends. They're currently playing Chromie, and I was going to, look at how they're playing and see if there are anything that they can improve on, whether it's their, positioning, landing skill shots, map stuff, whatever it might be. So we're going to be mostly following Chromie. There we go. So I do want to bring up just quickly that it is really important to know what kind of build the Chromie player is going to be going. My understanding of this particular Chromie player's playstyle is that they're going to be going the time trap build, which is going to consist of deep breathing for extra burst to follow up time traps. The time trap resets your Q and W when it triggers the build when somebody triggers it. Chrono sickness. It reduces the time trap cooldown by a lot and makes the people who get hit by it get slowed. Temporal loop for kill secure. Timeout for an easy sort of ice block that also lasts a really long time. Shifting sands, which combos nicely with trap build and Anor Hall anomaly because more traps equals more kills. So against this kind of a team, so we have double tank with a decent amount of CC, Stukov and a Grey Mane and a Chromie against a single tank, single support, solo support, and 3 damage, 2 of which are pretty high burst damage. So the Chromie has to be really careful about not getting hit by the KT chain or being far enough forward that Butcher can just charge her and either force her to use Ice Block or just get her in a really bad position to where she has to rely on her team to help her out. Generally, this kind of Chromie playstyle, it's okay to rely on your team, but you also don't want to feel like you need to have them bail you out multiple times. And against this setup, especially if the Butcher gets fed quickly, it can be a big problem. But so really the most important thing to note is that yes, there is a Chromie who wants to stack, but they have Kel'Thuzad and Butcher on their team, so they're pretty late game unless they just start getting tons of picks on the blue team. So blue team needs to really make sure that they're not feeding the KT or the Butcher that much and tries to get Chromie stacks, because if they can, then they can just like win the early and mid game because red team won't be able to actually get much done. And red team is really weak to Chromie. KT explodes to Chromie. Cassia hates ability damage. Blaze is a huge target, and Butcher you can time trap his charge if you kite him through a trap while he's charging. So let's see how this goes. Red team does want to fight. Well, both teams want to do the level 1 fight so they can get stacks. I might actually open up the camera instead of following Chromie just so we can see the people that she's trying to hit. So yeah, Chromie just wants to be queuing off cooldown, trying to get hits in. KT's getting... Do I not have this? See how much I should just check on. There we go. I love the stats you can have open on this. So you can see KT only has 5 blight stacks. Pretty good, but for the beginning, but not too many. It's 7. Leo and Muradin went straight to lane, which is really good because that means that it can give Chromie time to stack mid. You never want to have Chromie go on the off lane because she can't stack there. It's really risky of Grey Mane to be face checking that. Also, if you're a Grey Mane who's moving that far forward into a bush, if you have to assume that someone might be there and you need to be ready to go into Worgen form because the Grey Mane player couldn't get that many hits in on them, or at least meaningful hits, because they were still in human form. Leo's not really going to be able to kill Cassia as long as Cassia plays the lane right, so most he can do is hold lane and Muradin just kind of dumpsters Butcher. So here Chromie would have probably been better off going bot instead of going top because there just aren't enough stacks to be had against one person. It's far more difficult, like exponentially harder to hit one person than it is two people, because that one person, all they have to do is see roughly where you're aiming with your Q, and you're gonna most likely miss them. Whoa, that Leo's almost dead. So here, if Greymane doesn't get too kited, he did get kited. If Greymane didn't get too kited there, he could also. I think actually just if Greymane would have just been ranged autoing the Lucio, he would have died. It's been unfortunate, but it's fine. It happens. So Chromie's best bet is to head down to basically whatever shrine is being most contested by people, because the shrines have really good bottlenecks for killing people if they try to go in. Alright, so Chromie's moving a bit too far away, considering that it's only Butcher and Blaze, and her entire team is here to follow up. Like, I'm pretty sure that she missed a potential few hits in on the Butcher when he was far forward. Let's see. Yeah, so she's here. She can go for hits. That W is too off into the terrain, which is unfortunate, but it happens. Sorry, here, Chromie does not need to back up this far. She's totally safe. She has a wall of just her team there that she doesn't need to worry about it. Even if Q's off cooldown, she'll still be positioning further forward. Because that way, if potentially she would have been able to kill Butcher faster, then Red team would have been able to stop the DK. Also, Leo left top for some reason. He needs to go up there, so someone needs to go up there. So, however, the one amazing thing about the Chromie's team losing the map objective like this is that she gets to just pelt it with sand, which is really fun for stacking. And as you can see, Red team still is leaving top unattended, which is really problematic. It's always kind of hard to say if you're in the situation where you're on the team that has a lane with no one in it. It's like, do I go even if I'm like a Lucio or an Ana where I don't really have wave clear? Do I go and leave my team just to get that soak? And it's a hard question to answer. Like, obviously Chromie doesn't want to be the one going up to doing that, but if she has to, it might be the best thing to do. Even if it means that you're not going to be getting that many stacks in. But it's not. But again, it's not really on Chromie because she should not be doing that. Muradin Leo or Greymane, or even, heck, even Stukov could do it. Just Chromie's not good at that. That's funny. So here, Chromie's just getting stacks. That was a really good hit on Lucio. If she had a few more stacks on her, actually probably either one of her things, she might have been able to kill Lucio there. But that's a lot to ask because it's only 5 minutes in the game. Ooh, nice hit. So here's the reverse problem. Muradin's trying to deal with him now by himself. Okay, good. Red team needed to get a kill in mid in order to justify leaving Muradin top like that. Because now they're gonna lose top kind of for free. I mean, they got 2 kills out of it, so that's fine. Oh, so here also I think Chromie's almost out of mana, but I'm pretty sure that she could have tried to clock the Blaze because he was standing outside of the gate right as Lucio died, and then the red team might have been able to get the Lucio kill. Oh, what? Oh, never mind. Okay, I'm dumb. She used it on Lucio, the temporal loop. I don't know why it's not showing the cooldowns in the replay. My bad. That's a good kill by Greymane. So I would say at this point, Chromie should probably have backed already instead of clearing the stuff bot, or just like threw a W on the bot lane minions and then backed, because she's going to be going into this fight mid at a bit of an awkward angle, because she can't really go through this way, because then the blue team's going to be too pushed up, and if they're not, red team's going to be pushing them back far enough that like that would be fine. But I mean, it would be fine for her to move up this way, but the problem is, because blue team is here, it's unlikely that they're going to be pushed back at all, especially since Cassie is going to show up shortly. So then she might have to rotate around all the way around here, at which point she's not going to make it to get to God. At which point she's not going to make it to do meaningful poke damage. So I think she's just better off backing a little bit earlier as soon as she can, and then coming back into this fight with full mana, because even if she's able to take this rotation up here, she's going to have, what, 140 mana? Oh, even less than that. She's going to have, let's say, 100 mana, which is only enough for 1 Q and 1 W. So it's not going to be a good fight for Chromie getting stacks, I should say. See, now she's almost out of mana already, even after having that regen globe. It's a good hit. I will say I also haven't really been seeing that many really aggressive time traps in places where Chromie can essentially punish the blue team for getting caught in them. They seem to be a lot more defensive. That was a really good hit on Lucio, but unfortunately Chromie's not level 11 yet, so she can't do much about the KT combo. I think that was a really good example of where Chromie fires off a Q, but then doesn't realize the impending doom that she's in based on her position. So here KT's so close to her, and she knows that Leo's going to be coming over, which is going to give KTZ something to chain her to. But even if it wasn't Leo, it would just be that wall segment right next to her. So she just kind of let the KTZ and the Cassia gap close onto her pretty easily. It's a bit hard to... It can be hard to play around that, but in those kinds of situations, because she wasn't going to get the kill on, I think it was Lucio she did all the poke damage in, or did all the poke damage to. She's not going to get the kill on Lucio because she's not stacked in either of her quests yet. Also, the Stukov needs to be auto-attacking the really squishy KT. I'm pretty sure he has his pustule up, yeah. He has his pustule and his bio. He could have W'd the KTZ and then auto-attacked him like twice, and then popped it and auto-attacked him 2 more times. Remember, kids, auto-attack, even if you're a support. I say it all the time, but you should do it. The red team needs to spread out. Yeah. No! Why'd you stop moving, Leo? That's what you're doing. He's really low on stacks. Alright, so right now, Chromie should put a time trap right here, because Blaze is going to want to exit the bunker going out towards his side of the map. If she put a time trap about right here, that would mean that she would be able to catch Blaze the moment he exited the bunker. And it looks like as long as red team pressures Blaze enough, he's going to sit in the bunker for the full duration, so he's not going to be able to escape back into the bunker, even if he'd want to. So that way, it wouldn't necessarily be a kill on him, but it would be another stack in both of her quests. So it's just that whole mentality of putting down really aggressive traps. I'm not seeing the Chromie player do that enough. Like there, even here, Tempora loop the KTZ right now. Like, just ignore this. Temporal loop him, clock him, or yeah, use temporal loop, put a time trap down, and then combo him and try to either get. I think Lucio's sound barrier's still down. Yeah, it is. So this is a super easy KTZ kill. And you would and if that happened, you would have even prevented the Stukov from saving him because you would have gotten pulled back to the spot where the trap was. Lock him. Okay, good. Very nice. So I think that could have been done earlier just to avoid extra damage taken by the red team, but it's fine. The trap in this bush. Nice. That's a lot of pings. Easy DK for red team. That one caster minion got you. This is a bold butcher. Has a lot of burst. Oh, that was a really good combo. Whoa. Alright, so even though, I mean, with having, you know, full map vision on for both teams, I think from the Chromie's perspective, she didn't actually see until like a few seconds ago when the DK got vision of them. She didn't actually see where they went or if they were going to move downwards or not. Because she does know that they're disengaging, however, I think that it would be better if Chromie was positioning right here or so, somewhere in a radius near this trap, close enough, probably like along here, so that if Lucio or somebody else moved through this bush and hit that trap, she'd be able to instantly hit them. Because that is some potential damage she could get in on them, but by moving too far away, even to tap, you're still missing the chance of getting extra hits in. Like right there, should be auto attacking. That's good. Now your Chromie's dead. Get the W off. The W off. So there, the issue I think for what happened with Chromie was that Chromie was thinking too much in the mindset that you have to put down a trap with a temporal loop. If someone's low enough, you can just combo them right there. So yeah, should have been auto attacking. That's fine though, whatever. Or should have instantly temporal loops. Actually, okay, it was still on 1 second cooldown. So here, because at this point, Chromie was chasing this kill way too far, ignoring the rest of the team that was going to rotate up to her. She needs to just get that kill right now. Doesn't matter. It needs to go for the kill. So I believe, yeah, her W and Q are up. She should use her W and Q in like about half a second or so, and she would just kill Lucio. And that would also mean she wouldn't have to wait around for an extra 2 seconds to try to kill him. Because she did that, she left herself open to just dying to the blue team. And if she'd done it the way I mentioned before, where she would have just comboed immediately without putting down a trap and extending the essentially kill time by 2 seconds, that would have also made it so that she might have had a window to ice block. So yeah, her ice block was still up before blue team could actually start doing meaningful damage to her, and that would have wasted blue team's time considerably while they just sat around for 7 seconds waiting to kill her. And that might have meant that red team might have maybe gotten something done, helped her out. If anything, it would have given Muradin an extra Stormbolt stack. That was a good Muradin stuff. So red team has a pretty big push bot, blue team has a pretty big push top. Red team should go clear the top push. Speed this up a bit. Oh no! There goes Greymane. Theo, get away from him. Away from me. Okay, good. The Stukov arm save. Classic. Also, so she still was able to kite Lucio into this trap, but she should have been positioning a little bit further right here so that because Blaze was going to try to charge her, if it was off cooldown, he was going to try to charge her there. He would have charged her right into the trap, and he would have been a lot easier to hit than Lucio. However, Lucio is the squishy one, so as we can see, that did work out. Another minor nitpicky thing. So W and Q have been used. Safe. Shadow Fisher's off. Q again. Right now. Q again. Every second the Q is not being used is every 2.5 seconds you're not using Q is another stack you could have gotten. So the Chromie missed an entire Q that she could have gotten there. Also, it's really not a good idea to temporal Blaze, as we can see, if he has bunker up. And it is a really short cooldown it's a 50-second cooldown, which is really short. But as long as you see him use it and it's gone, so he can't just enter it again, then you can clock him just like how you can clock anybody against a team that has a cleanse. As long as the cleanse is down, you can go for them. Things like that. Or if D shield is down or whatever. It just really sucks when you use your ult and then it gets completely negated like that. That was a really good temporal loop. Good placement in there. Just follow-up damage. Q. Nice. Very nice W. I'd say that the Chromie is safe enough, or was safe enough a bit earlier, to move up further than where she was positioned. Like she can be right here and is safe, and just has to make sure that maybe after her ice block is up. Once her ice block is up, she can be out here, and if she's at danger of getting chained by KTZ, then she'll be okay because she can just ice block. And also keep in mind, she currently has 5 stacks of shifting sands, which means that she has 40% extra ability power. That's a huge reason to want to be up here somewhere like close, just to try to keep hitting them so that you don't lose the 40% bonus. Especially since Butcher is dead, they're actually not even that scary, and the only scary thing possible, I would say, would be KTZ chain. So get some temporal loop. Nice hits. Moving a little bit too far forward there. It's fine though. Didn't really get punished for it. Man, red team really likes spreading the lightning ball. Nice hit. Really good hits in. Ooh. It's a miss, but it's okay. Again, playing a bit too far back, I would say that the Chromie could have been somewhere a bit further up to make sure that she kept getting hits in on the blue team. Not a big deal, but it's just part of this kit is one where you want to be a bit more aggressive than you would normally be on Chromie. Also, because she had the trap cooldown up, she should just put a trap in this bush. I mean, you could have done it earlier as well, but like, yeah, it's still up. Put a trap down. Put a trap down even in the middle of their team. It doesn't matter. the trap down in this bush in the corner, so that if Blaze or Butcher were waiting here, they would get hit by it, even if it was a bit later, because this trap currently does absolutely nothing. Not only because it's not where blue team is, but it's also that even if they triggered it, the Chromie wouldn't actually be able to hit them because she's too far away, because she's playing pretty far back. Well, DK is going to have a fun time getting out of that. Ooh, that was a really good hit by Chromie. What's what you're doing? A gray main kill. Alright, he's dead. Nice. Alright. So, just time out. Time out. Red team, right now, 4 of them are dead. 4 of them are dead. And everyone is up on red team. Take their camp. Leo's already working on this camp. And then push with the bruiser camp. Actually, no, I'm sorry, the bruiser camp. This isn't. I'm thinking this is Cursed Hollow. Take this bruiser camp. Take this siege camp, and then maybe send Greymane potentially to go do bot camp. But I'd say just ignore all that. Wait for your minions to show up some, or let's say have Murden and Leoric tank these towers, get this wall for free. Because Greymane has really good sustained damage against structures. Chromie can poke Cassie and potentially kill her if she tries to contest. This is a free wall, and these 2 camps are free. And as they're retreating, they can get bot camp. So that's the order that they should do it in. I was thinking that they should go for this immediately, but I also forgot that this wave is a bit pushed back, the minion line of scrimmage is a bit farther back towards red team's side. So I still think that red team should just tank these, get this wall, so that then the next time that they get a DK, they can just go for keep and guarantee that they get that keep it. They could also even just go bot and ignore mid, because they're going to have minions bot and they're going to have a ton of archers. So maybe even bot is the better choice, because then they can have these siege mercs pushing with it too. Regardless of what red team wants to do, regardless of whatever red team wants to do, they need to get a wall right now. Trying to get this camp, that's fine. Bird is taking a lot of free damage. So now, unfortunately, because Murden and Leo took so much damage, Murden's going to start regenerating shortly, but because they took so much damage, they now can't tank this wall, so that's no longer an option. And because it took red team a bit long to get this camp, also because Murden and Leo weren't helping them, they don't really have any time to do much now. So they can, top 4 should probably be gone just from all these archers. There's no way that blue team can get up to it anyways, but they kind of didn't really take advantage of the fact that they'd gotten almost a full team wipe. So really, it's really important to press your advantage, especially when you just have like the map open to your team. Okay, pretty standard. Looks like red team wants to go for Butcher. So I think Chromie's way too scared of Cassie right now. She could have clocked her while she was in the middle of their team, and then Cassie would just be dead. Let's just look at this again. Also, the moment that you get back over here, because we don't know that Cassia is here yet, the Chromie should have put down a trap in this bush, maybe here, maybe even one further up, just because that way this entire corridor, in the event that the rest of blue team decides to funnel in here, like Clown Car in, she can have this totally on lockdown. Because now there's nothing covering that bush, and you wouldn't, and unless if Greymane hadn't have gone in there, you wouldn't have even seen the Cassia move in. So here, clock Cassia, trap her, and just combo her. Because now that you let Cassia distract you, Chromie, Butcher's just laying into the 2 tanks. I think he's still gonna die, but he would have died a lot faster. And that was also a missed Cassia kill. Because heck, you could have clocked Cassia, put a trap down, and completely ignored her and threw another Q at Butcher, and just waited for the trap to go because she can't kill you in 3 seconds. Like she just can't, unless she's Q build, but she's not. Like she'd have to have fully stacked Q, hit you twice with it, and maybe have Valkyrie as an interrupt. And even if she does all that after you cast the Q, you could just ice block. So that was a missed Cassia kill, which is unfortunate because now they still have 2 of their damage dealers. Good news is that neither KTZ or the Butcher have finished their quest yet, which is really good for Red Team. So hit by Chromie. So again, as we can see, yes, the traps are up here, positioned from the previous encounter, but they're not set up here. And because all it takes for Chromie is just like kind of move her arm out and go, like point to put down a trap. All she has to do is like walk over. Maybe I think she could be here and put a trap in here. Maybe put one here, put one on the point, and just be ready for those resets. And again, she could have also clocked KTZ at this point and killed him before he could do that much damage just to Coven Murder. However, the good thing involved to all this is, or the good outcome of them holding the point for that long was that Leo was able to get DK. Leo should be able to get keep if he plays this right. Kill by Chromie. She still has traps. She should put those traps down. For trap build, Chromie. For any Chromie player wanting to do trap build, you have 9 second cooldown trap. Especially at level 18, you have 3 of those traps, and they all come back at one time. You could just put them down almost constantly, wherever you think the next fight is going to start, or even mid-fight you can be putting them down, because they have almost no cast time for Chromie. They have an arm time, but they have no cast time, or almost no cast time. It's like mouth casting roots where he just has to move his hand in the direction where he's casting it. They cost almost no mana because they're 25, but then it's half of 25 because of the level 5 talent that reduces their mana cost. And you have 3 of them, so just put them down constantly. It's really important to do that because then you're not actually gaining enough of the benefit out of the build to justify going the build, essentially. Like here, put one here, put one here, maybe put one here. You don't want to put them under tower because the tower has true sight, so it'll see them. Yep, these are good placements for them. Maybe put another one here. And again, clocking Blaze when he still has bunker is not good. So if you're in the situation where you're in a vulnerable position and you're in your timeout, you want to look for an opportunity to break it, and then either if you know you're going to die, just cast W and start channeling Q because you're not going to be able to get off the Q most likely, but you can get the W off. Or if you think you have a chance to get out, let's say after a CC tool has been used by the enemy team, you want to break it, put a trap down to cover your escape, something like that. Or maybe like put a trap down, then ice block. I think that Chromie had enough time to put down a trap before she ice blocked. So like here, I think she was right here. She has a trap. She can put a trap down here. She'll be able to move up to this spot. She could ice block. Butcher would get hit by the trap, and then she could just walk away. Because she would have been in this for 2 seconds, and then he might have walked past it, but he most likely would walk into the trap, get hit by it, you break, ice block, run away. Because now Chromie's still gonna die to Butcher because she didn't like create that space between her and Butcher. Now blue team is probably just going to get this camp and push out lanes. They can't do a whole lot. I guess I can get bot. It's unfortunate that Leo died. Shouldn't have been that far out. Blue team gets siege camp. Oh man. Stukov, whoa. Crazy. Oh wow, he's going to get out. I did not think he was going to survive that. Again, traps are off cooldown. Put them aggressively. Put them like put one here, put one here, put one here. It doesn't matter. Just put them to make like create the minefield that your kit is enabling you to do. That was a good temporal loop. Come on, Greymane. Nice. Q. I'll be queuing. So see, here's a lot of dead time where Chromie's not actually queuing and getting an extra damage on like the Butcher or the Cassia. Basically anyone who's outside of the bunker. There's not enough risk involved to be wanting to like hold your Q to maybe get combos with it because you're not mounting sand and you just don't care. And you care a lot more about getting poke damage in and kills rather than holding your Q to see if you can maybe line up a really good shot. And even if you're missing, because everyone's in the bunker. I mean, if everyone's in the bunker, don't fire. But like, even if you're just missing because most of the people are not there and in a bunker, it's fine. You can still go for those shots. Also, especially because Chromie has 4 stacks of shifting sands and she's about to lose them, she wants to get that in. And yep, see, she missed it by, I want to say almost a quarter of a second. So now she has less ability power to continue hitting people in this fight. Now that ended up killing Blaze there, but let's say if Blaze had a bit more health, something like that, that extra 32% ability power that she missed out on by letting her stacks decay was really significant. And most importantly, just because it affects Chromie's Q and her W, even though it stacks off of her Q. Because it just gives her flat ability power, it's not like your next Q does 8% more damage stacking up to 5 times. So unfortunately, Murden's not going to be able to do anything here. At least he's not going to be able to actually kill the people at this point. He's going to probably just get fended and die. The Cardin shield. Oh, Greymane, get in there! Get in there, Greymane! Kill him! Nice. Alright. Again, temporal loop was off cooldown. Temporal loop, time trap, kill. Okay, that works too. I didn't think that he'd still be within range. Oh, okay. The trap wasn't centered on him. It's like, how'd that miss? That calculated trap right here. That was totally intentional. Stukov just gets caught, can't do much about that. So I'd say that Chromie should be approaching this angle because she doesn't know if DK is going to commit to doing anything mid lane or bot lane. She should have moved through this pathway. And that way she gets set up time trap, so even if Butcher charges, she could just kill Butcher effortlessly. So she just saw the Butcher is here. Before she revealed herself, I'd say she should put down a few traps just in the event the Butcher immediately charges her. It worked out. Looking for that trap. That's good. So again here, putting down time traps ahead of time would be really good. Or just like, sorry, putting them down as you're advancing. These are a bit too safe, I'd say. I mean, now that you're retreating, it's okay. But it was a bit too safe. Didn't account for the Blaze dash there. Ooh, that was close. Again, traps. That was a good time trap placement. Put down more traps. They're weak. Put down more traps. I feel like there, kind of the big issue that happened was that I don't know if I'd say there was like a huge issue. I think it was just that I think that Chromie couldn't decide if she wanted to be really aggressive or really conservative, but she can't be really aggressive because she's not putting down traps aggressively, which means that she can't basically have safety knowing that she has like these sort of buffers that allow her to either kill divers or just have time to escape. So it's a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. Red team can't, or sorry, blue team surprisingly can't do a whole lot with this, or I should say they're not doing a whole lot with this. They're probably just going to sweep the camps, but that means that Greyman can just clear top. Red team most likely gets DK. There's a chance that, blue team most likely gets DK. Red team could potentially, maybe, save the DK, but I don't think they're going to. Let's see, I'm gonna do a sneak peek. Where are they? Yeah, Lucio's going top. Trap placement. Really good placement on the Chromie abilities because she knew that Butcher was still going to be charging her. She should have broken Ice Block though a long time ago because she's in no danger right now at all. Even like after using it immediately, she's in no danger. You see there, she should have gone. She should have gone for what's her face, Cassia. Nice kill. Yeah, how much damage is KTZ getting? Oh, he's not even getting that much. He's getting a lot of repeat Shadow Fissures. I'm surprised. Yeah, and here it's important to have a lot of traps set up for the DK to get stuck on, so the DK doesn't get as much value. Although it's like not really Chromie's fault, but she keeps putting them in places where someone else is going to get hit by Death and Decay, and then because of that, the Death and Decay pops and destroys the trap. Phew. Oh, and I should mention, it is really important that red team kill this caster minion. That soul caster minion is giving everyone 20 armor buff, 20 spell armor buff, and that really sucks for Chromie. Chromie hates this thing. It'd be way better for Chromie to just get a W off on that and kill it instantly, just to make sure that they didn't have the armor buff. But of course, it doesn't matter now because the tower is just gonna kill it. So ideally, she could have. Actually, no, she couldn't have put a trap up because the explosion from the DK probably would have killed the trap. How much health do these have? I can't click on them. So unfortunately, because I believe that was entirely, I was really looking at the Chromie play. I believe that it was because of the split push from blue team and also the Mercs. I think that they got bot keep off of that. I don't want to go back in the replay, but someone should have been covering that. Maybe Greymane, but that's not really Chromie's focus right now. Chromie was on the DK. So here we can see KTZ is employing the very intense strategy of pressing R on a single spot multiple times. Oh hell yeah! Ugh, that's close. No, don't clock the blaze. It's really important to not temporal loop Blaze if he has his bunker up. because it's just a wasted ult. Also, kind of surprised Chromie doesn't want to chase more, considering she's trap build. She probably could have chased them and maybe gotten the kill. Chromie has 3 traps up. She should have had like either of them in a line in case Butcher went up to her, or just create like a sort of barrier around her. Because in that way, there was a chance there if she had 2 extra ones up that Blaze might have gotten hit by one, and she could have hit Blaze some more, maybe hit Lucio. But ultimately, it wasn't her fault that Stukov died or anything, because Stukov just got hit by the Shadow Fissure. So as we can see, the game is pretty close to being over, which makes sense because whichever team gets the DK basically just wins here. I mean, a lot of that is just not paying attention to where blue team is going to be. So as we can see, somebody just got this camp, assuming it was the 3 of them, or it's okay, so it was the 2 of them. Somebody just got that camp. There are 3 people alive. They're not showing anywhere on the map for red team. Two of the 4 people on red team are moving up towards top. And the blue team theoretically should be moving around with the mindset of we need to stay together if we're going to even attempt to try to stop one of these points. So, and also all the camps are taken except for bot camp. The only logical place that blue team would go is either is just go bot and get the camp or get the shrine, and they're probably going to just try to pile onto the shrine because they're really panicked about losing DK and losing the game off of that. So there's an incredibly high chance, especially because they just saw that Chromie and Greymane are here by themselves, that they're just going to rotate down onto these 2 and kill them. And I should also emphasize that this is especially dangerous when it comes to having a Lucio on the enemy team, because Lucio can just enable his team to make rotations even faster than you'd think they would take. Yeah, see, and also because of Greymane's positioning. Greymane wasn't really positioned that aggressively there in order to kill Sakir on the KTZ, which is really unfortunate, because if he was, there was a chance that they could have just blown up KT before anything happened, and then it would have been Blaze and Lucio against a Greymane and a Chromie, but because they didn't, Greymane gets basically just deleted by KTZ, which leaves Chromie to have to deal with Blaze and Lucio, and she can't really do that. Well, she can, but she doesn't have her trap set up because she put one in both of these bushes and didn't have the cooldown immediately. So now, they can't really defend to the DK, which, you know what that means. It is kind of silly that they're going for this camp right now, but, I mean, they're not there regardless. They got top point. There's not much for them to do now. As in, they shouldn't be doing the camp when their team needed them bot lane, but at the same time, they had committed to going top because they were going to split to get the DK. They're basically trusting in bot lane to not die while they went for the DK. This is pretty straightforward now. Just, they're going to get DK. There is a chance that Chromie could actually hold it long enough, but unfortunately red team's just going to throw themselves a blue team die and make it impossible potentially to be able to hold against the DK. This is a situation where you can't stop the DK, so don't throw yourselves at it and die. It's better to just let them have the DK, and especially if you have like high damage for vehicles like Chromie, or if you just have really good sustained damage that can potentially be covered or protected by tanks or the support, you want to just give the DK, because you have a much higher chance of potentially winning by doing that than by throwing yourselves with the DK, which is guaranteed death and guaranteed loss. That was a great blow up on Cass here. And I'm pretty sure we just saw the Blaze. Yeah, Blaze just used a Spunker. I was about to say, she should clock Blaze. So she couldn't put down a trap, but she like didn't commit to either one there. I want to just point out what could have happened there. So she saw Blaze was vulnerable. lot of damage. Is she getting autoed by the DK? I think she was getting autoed by the DK. Yeah, she was standing way too close just to keep getting autoed by the DK. She didn't get the trap down fast enough. Like, if anything, she could have put down a trap. Yeah, she's trying to put down a trap. She could have put one down, ice blocked, just to not take DK damage for a little bit. And then she would have been able to kill Blaze. Or she could have just, thrown whatever abilities were off cooldown farther ahead. Or, this is many different things could have happened here. She could have just completely ignored trying to kill Blaze and just be focusing the DK. The DK is way more important than killing Blaze right now, just because the DK is what's threatening to have the blue team win the game. And if she just kept hitting the DK can't dodge her stuff that easily, so then she'd be able to maintain her 40% ability power. And because she died, now red team has a really hard time is going to have a really hard time trying to defend this. Ultimately can't, because it would have just been Greymane. Even if Greymane didn't get caught there, it would still have to be Greymane trying to hold off the DK, which he can't because he doesn't have enough damage essentially to stop them from when their core is already at half health, and the bot lane Katas have already been chipping away at the shield, so there wasn't much that red team could have done if Chromie died. So it's really on the Chromie for allowing herself to be that far out of position and die chasing a kill that was less important than the map objective at the time. But those kinds of things happen. I mean, certainly this is my sort of analysis of when you're looking at specifically, like, let's say if I was the Chromie player, I would think, oh man, I really messed up. But it's because I'm focusing a lot on my own performance, and I'm not acknowledging, oh well, Greymane just kind of died for no reason there when he was the second line of defense after Chromie. He just died for no reason. Yes, but I'm focusing more on what I could have done differently. And if I was that Chromie, I would have played that differently. So all by way of saying, it's not like it was, oh, Chromie's fault for losing the game. GG, blah, 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 blah. It was a lot of people made a lot of mistakes, but if we're focusing on specifically one person, that was her mistake. Greymane needed to not get caught by Butcher and the DK. Stukov and Leo shouldn't have thrown themselves at the DK. What is it? The DK altar, because they basically made it a lot harder to defend than if they were still alive. Because also, what's really important to note, blue team gave them the highest possible chance of winning also, because they didn't go through top, which had one keep. They didn't go through bot, that had no keep. They went through mid, which had a fort and a full wall and a full keep. So blue team was really trying to throw having the DK. So it was a combination of everyone kind of doing some really dumb stuff. and ultimately, red team couldn't quite get past just the DK damage based on their mistakes coupled or against the blue team's mistakes. Like, even if Stukov or Leo or Greymane or really just anybody, if any of them anybody on red team would have cleared the bot katas, there would have been a full core shield. Because one of the scariest things was when a map objective, like the Punisher, the Immortal, the DK, the Terror, whatever, anything, is going after your core and it basically has its shields it has its shields very low because of katas. That can be really scary because that makes it a lot harder to defend because, core shields are like half of the core's health, I think. So yeah, looking at the Chromie's performance, I'd say that what could have been done differently, I would say that the most important things for Chromie with that build is you need to be putting down traps all the time. Like, you need to be abusing that talent so much to the point where you're relying on it so much for any value for your character. That's how you should see trap build. You want to be laying them out to be a minefield for the enemy team, so that you want them to be so worried about stepping on them that they don't want to walk towards you. Also, using Q doesn't have to be off cooldown, but if there's a dense fight and you're not holding it if you're not holding it because you want to wait to see if someone steps on a trap, then you just want to be firing it off constantly. because you need those stacks and you just want to get that damage in. Because Lucio can heal it up, but he does have a kind of a hard time. He has a really hard time healing up someone who's getting bursted by you. And if someone, even if it's like Blaze, and he's getting pelted repeatedly by Chromie poke, then he can't really do anything about that. He didn't even take Juggernaut plating, so you're totally safe to just wail into him. So yeah, put traps down religiously. Throw out Qs constantly when you're not waiting on a trap because you don't want to overlap the cooldowns of your Q reset while you're casting the Q. And also just don't be afraid to position a bit far forward. Because if you're putting aggressive traps down, but you're not in range to actually hit them if they go off because you're too worried about people advancing on you, then you're not going to be able to get value out of your talent. And I mean, you could theoretically hit someone else who wasn't trapped, but you're not going to be able to focus on that one particular person. And it's like, see, you can't like half commit to wanting to be aggressive with your trap placement, but you're not going to, like I said, if you do that and you don't follow up on it, you don't get kills. And if you put conservative traps, but you try to be really aggressive with your positioning, you have nothing to actually defend you, so or anything that you can fall back on. So then it's like, what do you know, how do I get value out of this talent then? So, anyways, I know that was super lengthy conversation about this, but I do appreciate the person who sent her, the Chromie player that sent this in. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on stream or in a future video. Take care.